Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Our heroes have arrived in Quinntown. Juniper was caught sneaking in, so she's facing the townsfolk alone. Butthole convinced Quinny his people would only be safe if they were all moved into the fortress, and Quinny arrived at his parents' front door. Can our heroes win over the locals, and can Quinny's parents forgive him for running away? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Quinny, you are being hugged by your mom. You haven't seen her in about 14 years. She thinks you're dead. And you can hear more rapid hustle and bustle behind her as your father, Ford, begins to clumsily stumble through the house saying, "Oh yeah, hey, you think you see our lad out there? Well, I gotta tell you, hon, he's we've been over this. He's a real big hero, and heroes don't just Paylor's pointed hat, it's our boy." And then he just kind of jumps in behind and is hugging around her and also hugging you. Quinny, how do you react to this? How are you feeling about all this?
I think that impossibly long amount of time between her mom opening the door and her finally kind of recognizing me and holding me, was thinking about hey guys, I'm home, kind of trying to make it fun or funny, which is all it immediately seemed like a bad idea. But as soon as she put her arms around me, I think that all just goes away, and just crying, just tears. My arms come up and I grab my parents, and yeah.
So they're a mess. They're just crying and confused. And then all of a sudden your mom stops and kind of pushes you back a little bit. Says, "Now, dear Quinny, I raised you good. So if you're one of them Walking Dead folks, you got to tell me. It's, because if you are, you're still welcome to hang. We'll figure it out, but it seems only fair that you let us know right now so we can just adjust our expectations here."
Quinny, wiping tears from his good eye, just kind of chuckles and says, "No, I'm not undead. But you heard right. I was killed. I was just brought back by some friends through sort of less nefarious means. It's me. This is my body. This is me."
And she kind of puts her hands on both sides of your face, and she says, with quivering lip, kind of pats you on the side of the face and says, "Well, yeah, there's a good boy, Quinny. I'm glad you're not one of them Walking Dead guys. But hey, wait a minute. Who said your friends brought you all the way back from the dead? Well, where the heck are they? You can't just be coming around here, coming back from the dead, and not expect us to throw a party for your friends. They brought our Quinny back." And Ford's your mom's got a point there, eh? It's kind of a little bit, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed there, Quinny.
Well, I mean, one of them is just out here.
And literally, Ford just kind of walks out and starts squinting and looking around. And Ginny dives behind a pumpkin because she's not really sure what's going on or if she's supposed to be here for this.
Right.
Butthole, you see this happen.
Yeah.
Butthole,
unfortunately, Quinton is still standing there with his hands tied together because he's been dragged along and he was not quite so swift. So,
hi there, sir.
That's not him. Butthole, can you please say hi? Take off the ring? Or
I could do that. And Butthole just takes off the ring. So there's just giant gold-clad Butthole there with his wolf. And he's like, "Hello, I'm Butthole. It's nice to meet you." Well, I guess King Butthole would be more accurate. But just nice to meet you. You've raised a very fine boy.
And Ford just blushes at that. He's real chuffed. And he does a half bow, half curtsy. And you can see Penelope is just Quinny giving you a look that you often give. usually the Goblin Junior, of just kind of like this fucking guy. As Ford like tries desperately to fit a courtly mode.
Yeah.
And she just kind of pats you on the side, kind of shoves you out of the way, and she just goes over and just gives you a huge hug, Butthole.
I'll hug her back. This is
You can
dope.
tell she's crying again, and she's just like, thank you for bringing our boy back. It's been real hard here without him.
I can only imagine. I sort of had a breakdown when he died and became an atheist for a bit, and I'm a cleric, so that was a long walk, but I had to get him back, and, I love him too, and he helped me find myself, so I'm glad to bring him home to you.
And again, more smiles and tears. Now, like, Ford is clinging to you, Quinny. Like, he didn't get a full hug.
Yeah.
So he's giving you that as well.
Yeah. And I'm right in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And he kind of like looks at your eye patch and just kind of nods sadly. I think he perhaps more than Penelope recognizes the hardship you've been through. And kind of like looks at the scar and the eye patch and just kind of nods and says, seems like you kind of been through it there, eh, lad?
Yeah, it's not all been great out there, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay, boy. You're home now. And he just like goes back. He just gives you like one of those, maybe what you need is just a hugs.
Yeah.
Where like he isn't like asking you any more about it. It's just kind of giving you a solid hug.
But also those words kind of like really hurt to hear, because that's not what's going on here. I'm not back like that. We need to go. Everyone in Cornucopia needs to go. It's not safe anymore. And we need folk like you to help kind of take back the world. And I can't lose you guys. So I'm not here to stay. I'm here to get you.
And you see him kind of dart his eyes back to the house. And like, this is one of those houses that has been in the Brown Barrow family. Like, all of these farms are just like ancestral farms through and through and through. And I think, well, I mean, you can answer this for me. Did you often talk to that? Was it kind of like a, not in the same tone perhaps, but was it kind of a Luke wanting to go like join up with the Empire or the Rebellion, anything to get him off Tatooine kind of thing? Or did you just, when you decided to go, just kind of go?
It was not the latter. There was, I think, for a long time, a buildup and sort of a romantic idea of adventure out there in the wider world, and that this place was too small for Quinny Brown Barrow and his potential.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then this is a conversation you've likely had.
Yeah.
You know that Ford, like, he knows where his funeral plot is, out behind the house. It's where it's near, his parents and their parents, and like,
we're just stacking them back there. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There's a joke about them, like, the border of the pumpkin patch is like, the Brown Barrows are the fence. Like, we'll make sure that we'll keep we'll keep the garden tended no matter what. And that the idea of that not only scares him, but like kind of runs contrary to his very nature. So he looks at the house, looks at Penelope, kind of looks back to you, and he nods, not in like a okay way, but just in kind of like an I acknowledge what you're saying way, and he says, yeah, all right, well, best to come in. We have some tea then, and we can. Well, this might be a two-pot kind of dilemma, I think. And so he starts to make his way back in, and then he stops and turns around and says, "Oh, actually, I might need to make a third. Listen, there's someone we should probably be telling you about."
You mean Ginny? God,
Butthole
please don't say the name of another child.
Butthole reaches into the bushes and just kind of pulls Ginny out and kind of shoves her into sight.
And she just goes, "Hey, Gammy and Gramps, and Penelope just gives her a look. She says, "Now, Jeannie, what have I been telling you about trying to change the way you talk so you sound like fancy folks? It's not how we brown barrels do it." Jeannie says, "Yeah, Grams, I know. But if you're going to be the world's greatest thief," and like they both roll their eyes, and Ford actually just points. Well, no, because they think you're a hero, so he wouldn't do that. Ford just says, "Now's really not the time, Gene. Well, at least you've got that all sorted out. Look, we really should have some tea." And you can tell he's getting so agitated because this problem cannot be solved without a warm, comfortable beverage. So he says, and he's kind of like looking to you for confirmation that yes, we can just have tea.
Yeah, we can have a quick cup, but honestly, like time is of the essence here. We'll have a lot of time to catch up, but it won't all be spent here.
Yeah, he's kind of dancing around the issue. There's an army of mercenaries that are kind of looking for us and, by extension, you. And they saw us a ways back.
And he grows sort of grim. And he says, "Iced tea, then." And he just waves you in. And with that, you all pile into the Brown Barrow home for a quick tea. Juniper, a small halfling wearing a long, very worn blue coat, wearing just proper kind of like pinstripe pants, and he's got like one of those little vests that are so popular in period pieces. Long gray beard with still just a bit of the black kind of almost around his mouth, so just still a little bit of kind of the streaks of what his hair must have been. And otherwise, just proper toilet seat bowl going on up top. Just chrome dome with
Excellent.
like a spike, like a shock of white hair at the sides. He's wearing glasses, big, heavy, sort of gold-rimmed glasses that make his eyes seem a little bit too large. And his mustache sort of twitches as he walks towards you, using a very ornately carved wooden cane that is carved in the sigil of kind of the two twisting snakes that have a really cool name that I never remember, that we use for medical stuff all the time. I believe the Greek term was Twisty Snakos. So he's got a Twisty Snakos cane.
Dr. Snake.
Yeah. And he shuffles up, looks to the sword, looks to you, and says, "Well, hey there. We don't see, many travelers come through these parts, let alone any with swords. So you'll have to excuse our initial reluctance to come over and say hello. I promise we are very, very hospitable people. I heard you cry out in pain a little earlier, and I just wanted to make sure you were doing okay."
Oh, well, thank you for such hospitality. Yeah, I'm great. I just tried to do a thing that I forgot I can't do a lot anymore, and then it kind of hurt, and then I yelled. Do you need help? I'm a paladin.
Oh.
And I can, heal people.
Well, that's very kind of you. I happen to be a physician myself. And then he kind of pushes the glasses up his nose a bit and says, You didn't come here to run me out of business, did you?
No.
Because all I can do is normal doctoring with bandages and knowledge. But if you've got magical powers, well, okay. Listen, I'll need some time to pack up my shop, but
nothing of
it's
the
right
sort.
over there. It'll be a little small for you. You can make it bigger though if you need to.
So, I'm sorry. I'm Sheriff Juniper. A long story. I'm here with some other friends. We're kind of passing through. There might be some others. I think Juniper just doesn't know how much she should say about oh, we want to take all of you back and all that stuff. So I think she'll let Quinny handle that one, or Butthole if he must. So I think she says, just be here a while. Literally just here to help. If you don't want my help, I can.
Oh, I'm happy to have help. Just paladins and such with all the magic and the mystics, sometimes can just make a humble small-town doctor feel a little outclassed, It's not a big deal, it's just a deal, is all. Name's Dr. Shinbone. I know you're Ms. Juniper, I understand, yes?
Yeah, I'm Sheriff Juniper. You can just call me
if we're on
Juniper.
a
You can also
first-name
call me
basis,
Moss.
you can call me Henry. Henry Shinbone's the name. So I'll use your first name too, Sheriff.
Okay. So, you got doctor's office. Juniper's like so doesn't know what to do. It's like for her, it's just like I think it's been a while since she's kind of been going around by herself, town to town, as she was for a long time, and it's like there's kind of an uncertainty. It's like, well, okay, she's this Chief Justice. I mean, is she like preaching the moon man? And it's like, what's going on? So I think she's just kind of like, okay, I know how to heal people. I'm just going to play to my strengths right now.
Sure.
Until someone else tells me what to do.
So Doc Shinbone says, well, okay. Why don't you come on down to the clinic? Don't have anyone coming in today, but who knows? Someone might bump a knee or, cut themselves on some farm equipment, and it's always nice to have a little bit of assistance. But come on, please. At the very least, we can get you some refreshments. You've probably been on the road for a bit. Hey, did you get bit by any of those undead critters out there? You hurt at all? You need any bandages? Local aids?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Okay, all right. That's
Thank you, though. No, do they bite people?
Oh, they bite, they hit, they slam. Those are the things they seem to do. But nothing. A little antiseptic and a little bandage can't fix. Well, unless they, get you, in which case, I guess that's more your domain than mine. Can't really bring anyone back from the great beyond. More just treat the folks who are still here,
I'd be neither can I. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. Although I have a friend who can do that. So.
Whoa, friends in high places. Hey, that's a mighty nasty looking gash on your arm there. Are you sure you're okay? And he points to the bite you got.
It's like, oh, right. I suppose I did. It's been a day.
Oh, I understand. All right, well, come on down to the office. Let's take a look at you.
She does, as she's moving, she lays on hands on herself.
Okay, cool. So you regain, how much do you get to choose how much you regain?
I'm going to regain 10. I have a well of 70.
Dang.
So.
And Tom, the twisting snake thing is called the caduceus.
Oh, the caduceus. Take that, classics degree. Pointing at the degree I have on the wall that clearly taught me nothing. Yeah, so as I said, like a snakeo spin. You're obviously you're feeling certainly feeling better. Juniper, although admittedly it wasn't giving you that much angst.
Yeah.
However, even though the wound seals over, it's still very visible.
Well, this is new.
Well, all right. Well, let's go take a look. I got magnifying glasses back at the doctor shack.
All right. I think as we go, just be like, I mean, have you seen anything like this before?
Bites? Oh, yes. Meanwhile, back at the Brown Barrow.
Oh, no. I just did math on this. Oh, no. Okay, keep going, Tom, but oh, no.
Back at the Brown Barrow estate.
Yeah.
You've been welcomed in for iced tea.
Fuck my life.
So you're Quinny, what is the inside of your home look like?
The front door leads directly into the kitchen that also has the kitchen table in it, where all the meals are prepared and eaten. That's also the biggest room in this house. because it kind of serves like two purposes in one. So it's all halfling sized, which is going to be tricky for Butthole and possibly even Goblin Junior to kind of navigate, because as you mentioned, it is not cluttered with anything that like sort of makes it seem like there's an air of disorganization or anything like that, but it is generations of knickknacks, crafts, dishes, other pieces of like whittled furniture. Like everything here was made by hand. In some ways that's clearer than others. And also there's a degree of sort of ongoing repairs and maintenance to this home as well. Nothing here is kind of newly purchased. It's either furnished from hand, from wood and things like that, or it's being maintained and updated and things like that. So the kitchen is like, it's all, I like the word homey, I guess, kind of captures, it's such a broad stroke, but it really is like, oh, people have lived here for generations kind of thing. And a lot of this stuff has been passed down from generation to generation and just been kind of carefully maintained, or replaced to the best of anyone's abilities kind of over the years. Mm-hmm. Through the kitchen, out the other kind of doorway is sort of like a living room. There, it's just a couple of chairs with like a smaller table. And then from that, it branches off in north, east, and west doorways for different smaller rooms you can't really see, but they're bedrooms.
Gotcha.
Or rooms that could be bedrooms, but have been repurposed for other things as well.
Okay, cool. So certainly a very warm atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I think, given Quinny what you've just asked of your father, just again the weight of the generational baggage of this space is indeed a heavy one. So you're all kind of gathered around. I think they try and keep everyone kind of to that central space you were describing, Tyler, just to make sure that everyone can hear. Immediately, the Brown Barrows go to work, like putting together like a quick plate for you. Hospitality obviously being a value that the Brown Barrows and seemingly all of Quinton / Cornucopia value rather highly. So very quickly, some food and drink are kind of placed out, and you're all kind of gathered around in, again, very cramped quarters, but cozy ones. And Ford says, "Yeah, okay, so I think," and he kind of like brings over Penelope, and he's like, "Quinny's got some kind of heavy stuff on his mind, so let's have a little chat." And he just like slides the iced tea over to you, and he looks kind of at the sweating jug on the table.
Yeah,
says, "I know time's tight, so we'll try and keep it to one. But if we need more, we'll make more. So let's talk about it. You're saying we needs to go?
Everybody here needs to go. I wanted to come and see you and tell you myself, let you know I was alive. I'm so sorry about that. You not knowing that I was back, or not knowing what had happened to me after I left. I wanted to come here first, but the broader kind of reason I'm here is to make sure you're all safe. I'm something of, well, we, and I look to Butthole as I say this, is we are somewhat considered to be enemies of the necromancers that have done this to everyone. We just found out that a band of mercenaries we once dealt with are in the area now, and they're hell-bent on revenge. There's a cabal of elemental royals that have summoned some kind of nature god who's also breathing down our necks. We just busted out of hell. I'm sure we didn't make some friends in that process either. There's a lot that's kind of been going on that unfortunately, Butthole, myself, and a few other people are kind of at the center of that. Now that we're known to these dangerous people, and this town is named after me, and people know that I'm alive, they might come here to hurt you in order to hurt me. And I can't have that. I need you to be safe. I need everyone here to be safe. So we have a safe place, but we need to get everyone there.
And your mom sort of nods and says, we've been having a bit of a tough time around here too, Quinny. The pumpkin rot was pretty bad this season, and we had to make that big barrier of trees to keep all the undead fellas out. So, you're not the only one with problems there, boy. But I understand. That does seem like quite a bit. Are these angry mercenary fellows after you? Are they the ones from? What do you call it there? Waterdeep, where you're the big hero?
No, they're a traveling band of mercenaries. They, I guess, came from Neverwinter.
And the camera just pans over and you see Butthole like Gandalf-sized in the Shire, but even bigger because he's even broader. And next to him's Crendon. Ginny's between them for some reason, looking much smaller. And Butthole's just like, yeah, they came from Neverwinter after we liberated it from their tyranny. And now they're here. So it's not great.
And
oh, gosh.
The thing about Waterdeep is, Riker, Avalon Riker, the man who came to see you and tell you that.
Oh, yeah, your boss, Mr. Riker. He said you were his best employee.
That's kind of cool of him, given who he actually is. He's the former leader of the Thieves Guild. I was not a town guard. I was a thief who became legendary after I died.
And like Butthole, you feel Ginny just kind of like tense up a little bit. And looking over, she's like, her poker face is actually pretty solid for someone raised in a very small town, but like edges of her lips are definitely like fighting against a smile at this. And just, she already had confirmation that the rumors she'd heard were true, but this is really a cool thing for her.
Because we're already touching, Butthole will subtly give her guidance to be able to hide her thrill at this, so she can still be excited, but he doesn't need her becoming the center of this. This feels like a Quinny and parents moment.
Yeah. Totally. It just sinks back into teenage disdain, just like smooth as silk.
There's a pang in Butthole's heart because he really wished someone had been able to do that for him when he was a teenager in like terrible family situations.
So Ma Brownbarrow, Penelope, she, however, is looking grim at this. Yep. Like a little bit ashen-faced, stern, and like it's a look that doesn't often, it's a cloud that doesn't often cross her features, but when it does, it means something. And she just says, so he was, gosh golly, you're saying it was all a lie.
I'm saying a lot of the details were a lie. The broader strokes were true. I did die.
No, not worried about that. That Avalon Riker guy, he was a thief.
Yeah, he was like the king of the thieves.
And she turns around and she like wheels on forward. She's like, I told you he took my spoons. I told you, and you wouldn't believe me. Oh no, not a captain of the Waterdeep Guard. He'd never take my spoons, but I told you he took me good spoons. Turns back around. She's like, I am sorry there, Quinny. It's a little disagreement that married people have after long bouts. I'm glad. It's I'm a little disappointed to hear you weren't some great hero and all, but
actually, he was a great hero. That's the one thing. He's so humble. He makes everything sound like what he does just makes problems. But no, he saved the Thieves Guild from being taken over by a tyrant. He liberated Neverwinter and then sent a mercenary force to liberate Waterdeep. So he's actually the savior of both. He just saved hell from being taken over by a maniac who sent all the zombies up here. Like, Quinny's doing pretty good on the scale of being a hero.
To kind of, take what I'm saying and what he's saying together is I've made some messes and I'm cleaning them up. And this situation that I've unfortunately put you all in is kind of my latest mess that I'm trying to make right here. That's really the long and short of it, guys. It's not really a conversation. You need to pack up. We need to go.
And at this, she just kind of nods, and there's a little smile on kind of the corner of her lip. And she just kind of pats the side of your face and says, yeah, Mr. Butthole there. I think maybe I wasn't clear. I always knew that our little Quinton here was going to grow up to do something good. We always knew he was a hero, whether or not it was, just around here or out in the world. That was never a question, really. It's just useful to know the details, Ford, on the other hand, has crossed his arms, and he just he looks at his half-drunk iced tea, just clearly knowing this is not enough tea to solve this particular issue. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Well, it sounds like a lot of you guys are from lots of different places, and you've had lots of big adventures. I hope you got to meet Paylor. I hear he's a cool guy down there in hell, eh? But the Brown Barrow family. When I married into that family, when I married Penelope here, and got to come live here on this farm, I made sure to promise all her relatives and her that we'd take care of the place and that we'd do the Brown Barrow name right. And I was never too close to my folks or to my roots. This is the first real sense of family I had. So, I'm real sorry, but I got to make good. An oath's an oath, and
Dad,
I made
come on,
Quinny. I made an oath, and I'm no great hero going to hell and back and liberating things. And
that's not what this is.
I don't know what else. Well, what's it about, Quinny?
You have to go. You guys got to go.
Yeah. Do you fight for things you believe in, there, boy?
Yes.
You fight for things you believe in. Yeah, good. Yes. So do I. And I believe in this here pumpkin patch.
We can grow pumpkins anywhere, Dad.
Not these pumpkins. These pumpkins grow here, Quinny. That's why they're the best dang pumpkins. I'm sorry. And he turns it up. He's like, sorry for the strong language, dear, but these are the best dang pumpkins in the region. And that's because we grow them right here, and the soil's good, and the sun's good, and it's a good place to grow up. You of all people should know that.
Dad, I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in here. We fought people that were also wolves and tigers on the way here. Okay?
Oh my.
So I will help you pick up excuse my language, Mom, the fucking dirt if it means planting your ass and these pumpkin seeds somewhere safe.
Can you roll? I think I'm going to go with...
This feels more like intimidation than persuasion.
It really does, but I also don't think there's any threat here because you can't really pick them up. You're too small.
No, I said I'd help him pick up the dirt if that's his
sticking
point.
I guess persuasion's the way we go.
Is it a saving throw because you're so desperate to win them over?
Yeah, because I'm losing my temper? Yeah. I've got to roll. Let's look at those modifiers. So we're saying persuasion?
Yeah.
Man, that's Tevin. 10.
10.
A little bit.
He just kind of narrows his eyes. You can also tell that, unfortunately, your mother's also on the fence about this. As you've always known, like these are small town people through and through, and they really believe in this place and its value. You get the sense that your mom probably isn't going to be as bullheaded about kind of her family history. It doesn't matter as much to her as it does to Ford, but given his own history, this does matter to him. And I mean, he always there was always talk of the legacy and everything else, but between you and Ginny, it seems like no one is really going to pick up the slack on this farm. So there's probably also a bit of that, which is, you all have fancy new ways, but my ways are my ways, and I'd rather die here than elsewhere. What do you do to try and convince them?
I think after that little outburst, I kind of like calm down. I take a big fucking gulp of iced tea. It's really good. I haven't had
it's amazing. Like they do it up proper. Yeah.
And I like half slam, half place the glass down. You know what I mean? When you're
yeah.
Okay, put it down. And I just kind of present my argument once again in like just being as diplomatic as I can, just saying, Dad, tradition and honoring oaths does not matter if if this place and everyone who stays here is burnt to the ground, no one will remember this. Okay, the legacy, family, that kind of stuff only carries on if you live and take care of your family and take care of your oaths. Okay, so you promised some folks that you would be a dedicated and hardworking farmer, and that you would live a simple but pure life, whatever that means to you, right? Do that somewhere safe. This is not gonna, the way things are right now is not how it's gonna be.
And he kind of looks at you and he says, Bai, it's an interesting choice of words coming in here and talking about taking care of family. And he kind of like looks at Ginny and then back at you. And he says, and you're talking about oaths. Yeah, no one else will remember them. I get that. No one's going to remember me. It's not really a big deal. What is a big deal is I made an oath. And I'll remember. If I go wherever you want to go, I'll remember that I broke that oath.
Okay. This discussion is not over. I have to go. I have to talk to some other people. But Dad, one thing you need to understand is that I am right. And the only thing that's going to change is how long it takes for you to realize that and how many people will get hurt beforehand. Because I'm doing the best I can to protect you. And the more you fight me on this, the harder it's going to be. And I'm far from perfect. And I honestly and truly hate to say this, but I might not be able to save everyone the more pushback I get on this. So, Mom, please talk to Dad. I have to go and now address the rest of Cornucopia and try to get an evacuation underway, because once again, the fucking apocalypse is coming. It's already outside those trees, and it's coming here. Because this place is named Quinntown.
And they both, like, despite how angry everyone is, are both, like, still a little chuffed that that's true.
I stand up from the table. I finish my drink because it is delicious. And I say, I'll see you around the way. And I go out the door.
Butthole, is there anything else you would try and do after Quinny steps out? You have kind of a few moments where you're just kind of with the family and Ginny and, of course, Crendon. Longtime beloved NPC, Crendon.
Yeah.
Love him.
Good guy. Big fan.
If Crendon dies, we riot.
6 seasons and a Crendon.
Well, thank you for the iced tea. Your son is a friend of the crown, and obviously so are you now. Clearly,
Ford bow curtsies again badly.
I'd
Tell the halfling that he bows to no one.
Yeah. He doesn't pray to Moonhammer, so I don't know Paylor's rules about bowing. But Butthole will just say, if we could protect the land, but move you away for a while and then bring you back, would that be of interest?
And Penelope, like, shoots him a very quick look. She says, I mean, 40, we have been talking about, getting away on one of them dare vacations. So, and he grits his teeth because this is clearly true, but not what he meant. He meant we'll go down the way a bit and hang out at a different place that's within eyesight of this place and then come back possibly the same day. You roll me a persuasion there, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage because you're promising them something very reasonable that is within your power to offer.
Cool. That is a 23.
23. All right. They they seem swayed by this, and Penelope, obviously kind of understanding everything that's at play here, just says, it's a very nice offer there, Your Highness, as long as I think, the farm and all the farms around here are safe for folks to come back. This is really the only life any of us have ever really wanted. So, there's not much life for us if this is all gone. But what you're saying makes sense to me. Maybe there's a way we can do what Quinny there needs, and also not lose everything we've worked so hard to build.
Excellent. Do you have a king or a country that this area has sworn an oath to?
And they both kind of like bashful at this, just like, no, we're just proud free folk. That's kind of our deal. We have a mayor who gets elected, every season. Mayor Butter Brown is currently heading up the town.
4 mayors a year?
I mean, sometimes it's the same mayor, but
okay.
Election
every season. God damn.
Hey,
it's so democratic.
Brendan was so curious.
They're farmer folk. They, harvest.
When do they get work done? They're just always campaigning.
Always.
I feel like if it's the same guy every year, it may be a pretty quick election.
Yeah, so literally 2 people stand up behind a barrel, and one of them's like, well, I was thinking maybe we could grow more crops. The other one's like, me too, but different. And they're like, I don't know if I like that different. We're going with the first guy.
I was going to say, the 2 parties are just same and different. Just raise hands.
Honestly,
I vote different.
And then they have a barn dance. Like, it's really just an excuse for barn dances. Now, admittedly, there are also super PACs to consider, but generally speaking, it's just 2 speeches and then a barn dance.
Yeah, corn is free speech, they determined at a local vote. All right, that answers the questions that I had, and I will do everything I can to keep your people safe and to make this all as easy as possible. If either of you need anything or hear something that surprises you or have any sign of danger, don't hesitate to come to us.
Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty reasonable, but I gotta say, I mean, it still sounds to me like, if these mean fellows are after you, it sounds like we should be trying to protect you. Do you need somewhere to hide for a bit, or we could smuggle you out on a cart or something, maybe?
He looks down at these 2 adorable halfling farmers offering to protect him from the armies of Aka and says, I think I'm good for now. But if we do need a favor, we will let you know. Let's just agree if either of us could use help from the other or sees anything weird, we'll send word.
Yeah, it sounds pretty reasonable to me. Meanwhile, Juniper, you have made it into the office of Doc Shinbone. And he's looking over the wounds. Again, they seem fine. They seem like a little infected, but they have sealed over. So, what could go wrong?
Yes. What could go wrong?
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons logo is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. The Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Lord Abradovic, Orion Birchfield, Scott Garland, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Anna Zed, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, Roman Brown, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.